64 COVID-19 cases recorded yesterday. Cases outside containment zone worries authority. And risk of non-containment zone breach. And like Fiji, the Ministry of Health recorded 64 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday. Permanent Secretary Dr. James Fong says the new cases stem from the existing clusters. He adds 10 cases are related to the CWM cluster, 11 are linked to the Nawaka cluster, 23 are linked to the Navy cluster, 9 are related to the Nagosai cluster, 10 are linked to the COVID-19 Incident Management Team, and 1 is related to the Waila cluster. Dr. Fong also confirms that 77 of the 83 cases recorded on Sunday were connected to existing clusters. The PS says there is potential of new clusters that are related to the 5 cases in Naita Siri and 1 in Tabua. He also clarified that the person who had tested positive while admitted at the CWM hospital died yesterday. However, they have determined that his death was caused by serious medical illnesses and not COVID-19. The recent hike in daily numbers from the Central Division signals the increasing severity of the outbreak. Dr. James Fong says the emergence of clusters outside of the Laminosori containment zone in Naita Siri is a concern. Cases within the CWM hospital and within the COVID-19 Incident Management Team are serious developments that have had an impact on their ability to respond. Fijians are being advised to expect more cases and take heed of COVID safety procedures. The public is reminded not to organize social gatherings, don't meet up with friends, and never share a bowl of grog with workmates after work or anyone outside your household. You should also not visit family that live outside your home. Non-containment zones are at risk of being breached. The PS for Health says Fijians in non-containment must act as if the virus is already in the communities by avoiding social gatherings and observing the COVID-safe protocols. One individual traveled from Naita Siri and had a cover session with a few people in Tawua village. Dr. Fong says with the support of Tui Tawua, they have facilitated a lockdown of Tawua village for an initial 4 days. He adds they will screen all contacts and then plan a more targeted lockdown area in the village. Amendments to the Political Parties Registration, Conduct, Funding and Disclosures Act was passed in Parliament yesterday. The changes require political parties and candidates to keep proper accounts and be more transparent with the financial records. However, the passage of the bill didn't come without a fight from the opposition, with Sudelpa claiming that Fiji First is only trying to solidify its position.
Candidates are now required to list the names and addresses of donors. They must also list for them, their spouse and children, total assets in Fiji and abroad as at polling day, total assets from nomination day until polling day, and directorships or other positions in a company or organization.
It is only using the Multinational Observer Group recommendation as an excuse to amendments which it initiate itself to give itself more advantages.
There was a political party. Their agents used to take the voters right up to the polling booth. And in between, the voters are told, remember that whom you have to vote.
Big businesses don't support us. Individuals who may own companies, the money comes out of their accounts. It's clearly shown. Our donation list is transparent. We don't hide it behind some lamb curry night.
Political parties are required to submit details of all assets and liabilities as at polling day and income and expenditure, including all contributions, donations or pledges in cash or kind made from the date the writ is issued to polling day.
The amendment is giving the rich power to choke the life out of these poor political parties out there.
This overall electoral system, which the former leaders of NFP, A.D. Patel, Siddiq Koya, James Madwan, all argued for.
The Electoral Commission is now empowered to mediate or arbitrate campaign issue disputes between political parties. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Voter card for the next general election will have special features to counter any form of voting fraud. This comes after the passing of the Act to amend the Electoral Act 2021, which deals with the registration of voters. The voter assigned to a person on the registration of the person as a voter will contain the full name, photograph, date of birth, place of residence, voter number, polling venue and other information as required by the supervisor. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says should anyone be removed from the National Register of Voters, there are ways to do this.
The supervisor of elections is going to remove somebody's name from the National Register of Voters. It gives a step-by-step description as to how he should do it, or she should do it. Whoever it is the supervisor or registrar. They have to send a notice to the person's last known address. They have to give them a particular level of amount of time. And then if the person wants to object, they can object. They can appeal to the Electoral Commission. And the Electoral Commission can then review the decision of the registrar, which is the supervisor of elections in this particular case.
So on that note, Honourable Speaker, I would plead with the government, with the Electoral Commission, to relook at the registration. There is no reason why we cannot use this again for 2022. People will know that they voted at a particular point in 2018, and they can always go back there.
The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission is closely working with relevant authorities to track down perpetrators that were involved in the pyramid scheme. Commission Chief Executive Joel Abraham says some cases allegedly involve people overseas, and they are working with similar authorities from other countries to address the issue. Abraham says they are working with the Consumer Council, the Financial Intelligence Unit, and the Online Safety Commission as investigation continues for the pyramid scheme cases.
We're also now looking at executing documents and notices to mobile companies so that we are able to get data out of the M-Pesa accounts and where money were transferred and to who did it go to. For them, whether you're in Fiji or you're sitting somewhere in Australia or you're sitting somewhere in New Zealand, will get you.
A group of teachers are going out their way to set up a social media platform named Read to Succeed to help students with their education during this pandemic. Group President Joseph Mboa says the initiative has attracted a good number of students from across the country to be part of the program. Read to Succeed is an initiative by 18 teachers in the Central Division and from Tavua, which has caught the attention of hundreds of parents and primary school students during this pandemic.
The teachers teaching through this platform has never met. Read to Succeed is a platform which engaged active learning for students from early childhood education to year 8. The teachers engage themselves in teaching students through live videos and using available resources to teach a particular topic.
Up ahead, Kalion and Asoko and Asset. And FRU seals 4-year partnership with Nike. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Fiji Rugby Union is embarking on a transformative journey with the world's leading designer, marketer and distributor of athletic equipment, Nike. FRE Chief Executive John O'Connor has confirmed the 4-year partnership. Nike is the official exclusive supplier of sporting gears for all Fiji Rugby Union teams. O'Connor says this is a historical moment for Fiji Rugby.
We are the first country rugby union in the Pacific that's a joint partnership with Nike. And we are humbled with this great opportunity. Fiji Rugby has appointed Nike as its official and exclusive team and training kit supplier for the next 4 years, running through until the end of 2024.
The return of former Fiji Sevens captain Kalion Asoko will be a boost for the side on the road to the Tokyo Olympics. Head coach Gareth Baber has spoken highly of the experienced players named in the team like Jerry Tuwai, Kitione Talinga, Alessio Ndobo, including Nasoko. Baber says Nasoko has been working hard through training sessions and is where he needs to be. Baber says Nasoko is a significant member of the squad with decent experience in conditioning that will help the young players.
It's great to see him, back to his leading best in training sessions. Not just in the field of play, but also when it comes to conditioning sessions and leading the players on the standards that are necessary in the group.
The Fiji women's touch rugby team is yet to win a gold in the Pacific Games. Having made their feat outing at the 2019 Pacific Games in Samoa, the women's team managed to scoop the bronze medal. Caroline Itavi reports now the team is hoping to go a step further and get the goal.
Though the franchise league has exposed many young talents, the women's team is still lacking the competition needed for the next level.
It's not just about the clubs themselves, but it's about everyone improving for the Fiji team, because our opponents are not here, they are abroad.
Fitness is not so much of a concern for the federation, but they are more focused on the technical aspects of the game.
Not everyone is fitness savvy or fitness freak, but one thing for sure is, apart from fitness, the technical side of the game, the tactics, the gameplay, these are things that you can always improve on as well.
TFF has also noticed the interest to join the sport has grown.
There's hype and there's continuous interest, and so we will try and continuously work with our stakeholders to ensure that the interest is maintained and taken to the next level.
Once the green light is given for sporting competitions to resume, TFF will continue where they left off their franchise touch league. Caroline Itavi, FBC Sports.
Spain's preparations for the Euro 2020 has been thrown into chaos after a player tested positive for COVID-19. Cloudy periods with some showers and isolated thunderstorms over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, find apart from isolated afternoon showers. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.